Humanity died with a whimper. Not a bang, not a final war. Just silence. Systems failed. Crops withered. The sky turned gray like an exhausted bruise, and one by one the cities choked on their own smoke. I survived because I was already halfway gone, off-grid, a loner, too stubborn to die and too tired to keep living. I haven't spoken out loud in 6 years. I don't need to. There's no one to hear me. I live in the bones of a dead world, scavenging the rusted ribs of skyscrapers, crossing cracked highways swallowed by roots and moss. Towering husks of glass and steel glitter like tombstones. Ivy wraps them in green ropes, pulling them down inch by inch. This morning, something woke me. Not fear, not hunger, a tremor. A vibration beneath the soil, swelling through the earth like a heartbeat returning to a corpse. I felt it in my teeth. The air tasted like copper and rain and inevitability. A sound like the sky splitting open. I climbed what used to be a corporate tower, now a leaning skeleton with trees growing through boardrooms, and saw it through the storm clouds. A fireball, plummeting. Not a meteor, too controlled. It dragged a molten tail behind it, thrusters screaming, tearing the sky in half until it vanished behind the ruins. It crashed on the other side of the river. For a long time, I just stared. I should have ignored it. Nothing good comes from the sky anymore. The last time something fell from orbit was a scavenger droid drop pod, chrome nightmares that hunt heat signatures and drag bodies back to whatever machine god they worship. But I couldn't let it go. I slung my pack over my shoulder, checked the last 308 rounds in my rifle, more habit than hope, and set out. The rain hit like nails, cold, sharp, relentless. The world smelled like wet concrete and ozone. I crossed a shattered bridge, stepping over gaps where the river boiled underneath, swollen and angry. My boots slipped on moss. I didn't care. Something in my chest felt awake for the first time in years. By the time I reached the crash site, steam billowed like ghosts from the crater. Metal shards stuck out of the earth like jagged teeth. The wreck was a twisted spire of gold and obsidian, half molten, half impossibility. Alien, beautiful in the way a knife is beautiful. And then I saw her. She was kneeling at the center of the crater, one leg buckled beneath her, like a queen forced to bow. 7 feet tall at least, 4 arms, 2 bracing against the ground, 2 curled protectively around her abdomen. Skin like hammered gold, shimmering even beneath the soot. Armor shattered in places, revealing bioluminescent veins pulsing under the surface, glowing like molten starlight. Her face, sharp, predatory, regal, high cheekbones, eyes like topaz supernovas, slit pupils contracting as she looked up at me. Hair like molten metal poured down her back, braided in intricate patterns that hummed with faint electrical discharge. She wasn't just alive, she was furious about being it. We locked eyes. My breath caught. Something in her gaze made my blood feel older than I am, like she was looking through me, reading memories like pages, tasting the shape of my existence. A sound rose behind her, whirring, clacking. Droids. 3 of them, limbs curling like knives, red optics scanning the crater. They crawled from the tree line like cockroaches dragged from hell, chrome bodies reflecting the rain. The sight of them made my throat tighten. I'd watched them kill before. Efficient, clinical, almost merciful. The alien woman staggered to her feet, all four arms spread wide, armor plates unfolded with a metallic snarl, exposing energy seams like veins of blue lightning. She glanced at me, not pleading, not afraid, calculating. I should have run. Every survival instinct screamed it. Let her fight. Let the monsters take her. Stay unseen. Stay alone. It's how I lived this long. But when the closest droid leapt, blades unfolding, she faltered. One knee buckled. My rifle fired before I even knew I'd raised it. The round punched through the droid's eye. It collapsed, sparks vomiting from the wound. I stood exposed on the ridge. The other two turned toward me with mechanical shrieks. Her head snapped toward me, shock flickering across her celestial features. Then something else. Recognition? Intention? I don't know. She moved like a storm given flesh, four arms flashing, claws slicing open metal like paper. Her voice thundered, a language like molten stone breaking. One droid fell. The second reached me, too fast, and I braced for death. She landed between us, towering over me, gold skin steaming in the rain. Her upper right hand caught the machine's blade mid-strike, metal screeching against her palm. Her lower left drove through the droid's torso, ripping free its power core in a burst of neon fire. Silence. Rain. Steam rising from bodies, metal and not. She turned to me, slowly, as if afraid I'd vanish. Her four arms folded in, not threatening, something like a gesture of respect. And in a voice like distant thunder, she spoke English, perfectly, calmly. You are human, extinct, and yet, here you stand. Her eyes widened, pupils flaring. Your DNA is required. You will come with me. I should have said no. I should have run. Instead, for the first time in 6 years, I tried to speak. My voice cracked like broken stone. Why me? Her response was simple. You are the last, and I am the Empress of a dying empire. And just like that, I chose her. I don't remember the last time someone walked beside me. Not behind me, not hunting me, beside me. The Empress towered at my flank as we moved through the drowned city streets, four arms folded around her injuries, gold skin flickering with fading luminescence. I kept my rifle low, nerves high. Rain pattered off her armor, steam rising where water met the heat of her body. Every step felt like a decision I could never undo. My refuge waited ahead, an old metro station I'd converted into a bunker. The entrance was hidden behind a collapsed bus and a wall of vines. She paused before it, gaze sweeping over the landscape like she was memorizing the fall of my world. Your people built monuments and then surrendered them to vines. Her voice wasn't mocking, it was mourning. I pushed aside the bus, grunting with the effort. She watched me struggle for a moment before stepping forward, lifting the vehicle as though it were nothing but a rusted tarp. Metal screeched as she set it aside. "Show me," she commanded. I led her in. The station was dark, power siphoned from scavenged solar panels, batteries barely holding on. Old posters peeled from the walls, faces of actors long dead smiling with eyes that never knew extinction. My bed was a pile of blankets. My stove was a barrel. My life was a museum of survival. She crouched to enter, 7 feet of imperial presence forced to fold to fit inside my shelter. When she stood, Her crown-like armor scraped the ceiling.
"It is small," she said. "It's home," I replied, voice rusty and unsure. She turned to me, eyes narrowing slightly. "You have not spoken in years. I hear it in your throat." I shrugged. Talking felt like peeling scabs off memories. She lowered herself onto my supply crate. The crate whined under her weight. I could smell her. Not perfume, not flesh. Starlight, electricity, the metallic tang of cosmic radiation. Her lower right arm reached toward me. I flinched. She froze, mid-motion. "Consent," she said slowly. "Do you understand the word?" I nodded. "I will not touch you without it," she continued. "I am dangerous in ways your kind has not evolved to endure." Her tone softened. "Remove my armor. Where it is broken, I bleed." The command was gentle, a request dressed as authority. I knelt at her side. Her armor was seamless, living metal fused to her skin. I found a crack, fingers slipping into the warm divide. The plates responded, retracting with a sound like distant chimes. Beneath, her flesh glowed, veins like nebulae spreading across her ribs. A wound ran along her side, shimmering like molten glass. My breath hitched. "I don't have medicine for whatever you are. You have hands and intention." Her skin pulsed under my touch, heat rolling off her like a furnace. I cleaned the wound with water and cloth, stripping my own shirt to wrap her side. She watched every movement. "On my world, this act would bind us," she murmured. "It's first aid," I said. "Intent," she repeated, "matters more than ritual." Her upper left arm moved, slowly, settling across her abdomen like a barrier. The other three remained still, folded or braced. Royal posture, defensive posture, both. "So," I said, voice barely more than gravel, "you're the Empress of what's left?" She nodded once. "House Seraphine, last of the Golden Courts. My lineage carries the genetic key to stabilizing the stellar gates. Without an heir, the gates collapse. My empire fractures. The cosmos folds in on itself. And humanity fits where in that?" Her gaze met mine. Something ancient and desperate stirred behind those eyes. "Humanity was seeded," she said. "You were not an accident. Your DNA is the missing sequence, an echo of the architects who built my crown." I leaned back. "We're not special. We just died. Extinction is not proof of insignificance. It is proof of vulnerability." Silence stretched. She looked around my bunker, at the artifacts of a species that used to dream of the stars. Toy rockets, posters of galaxies, books about constellations. "You saved me," she said. "Why?" I swallowed. The truth scraped like rust. "Because I didn't want to watch someone else die." Her breath hitched, a subtle intake, like she was tasting the answer. "I need you," she said. "Why?" She hesitated. The Empress, the conqueror, the woman who split machines with her bare hands. Her voice softened to a whisper. "My body is failing. My womb is collapsing. To carry an heir, I require a stabilizing genome. Yours. The last of your line carries the signature I need." A biological deal. A cosmic obligation. A trap. I should have felt repulsed, terrified, objectified. Instead, something else surfaced. a thought that tasted like betrayal to everything that ever lived on Earth. If I help her, I'm not alone anymore. I won't be a prisoner, I said. You would not be. You would be consort, bound by oath, by power, by blood. I looked away. My chest ached, a kind of pain I hadn't felt since the world still had voices in it. Why protect me? I asked. Because if you die, my empire dies. That's not protection, that's necessity. She leaned closer. The room shrank around her. Her presence was gravity. And also, she whispered, because the moment you fired your weapon to shield me, I saw a future, one where we survive, together. The words struck something raw. I stood, pacing, legs shaky, mind racing. Outside, thunder rattled the earth. The droids would come again. They always came again. You think I can save a galaxy? I muttered. No, she said. I think we can save each other. I stared at her, at all four arms, the wounds, the gold skin flickering as her body fought to heal, at the woman who could end me or raise me to a throne in the stars. 6 years alone, 6 years silent. My voice almost broke again. What happens next? The Empress rose, towering, radiant, haloed in dim light. Next, she said, you decide if humanity's last breath is a surrender or a beginning. Something moved outside, a distant thump, mechanical, many feet. Her head snapped toward the entrance. They have found us, she whispered. Droids? Worse. Her eyes ignited like suns. Hunters, machines built to erase royal bloodlines. She stepped toward me. One hand, just one, reached out. Choose, she said. Stand with me or die alone. I looked at her hand, at the world outside, at the grave of humanity, and I made the only choice that felt like living. I took her hand, and for the first time since Earth fell silent, I felt something like hope. When I took her hand, something changed. Not magic, not destiny. A weight, like the world exhaled and I inhaled its last remaining breath. Her grip was warm, too warm, like holding molten metal just shy of burning. Energy crackled across our skin, tiny arcs of gold lightning that threaded between our fingers. My bones hummed. Then the ceiling trembled. A low, seismic growl rolled through the station as dust rained from the concrete. I'd heard that sound once before, years ago, when a hunter unit prowled the outskirts of the city. But this wasn't just one. This was many. The Empress released me, striding toward the entrance with all four arms raised, upper hands splayed, lower hands curling into fists. Her golden veins lit the shadows, casting fractured constellations across the bunker walls. "Stay behind me," she ordered. "I've survived this long without hiding," I muttered. She glanced back, eyes like twin novas. "You have not yet seen what hunts a crown." The bus outside screeched as something enormous lifted it like scrap. Metal screamed. Then it flew, hurtling down the station steps, smashing into the platform in an explosion of rust and sparks. The hunters descended. They weren't like scavenger droids, small, insectile, clinical. These stood 10 feet tall, skeletal frames wrapped in black alloy, arms ending in plasma talons. Their faces were blank plates of obsidian, etched with white sigils that crawled and pulsed like parasites. Their footsteps were earthquakes. 5. No,
6. My rifle felt like a toy.
The Empress stepped forward, spreading her arms. A humming sound filled the air, like a reactor waking. Her wounds still leaked light, but her presence grew, oppressive, divine, undeniable. They charged. The first swung a talon the size of a scythe. She ducked, lower right arm catching the blade, sparks erupting. Upper left arm launched forward, palm to its chest, and a pulse of luminous energy erupted. The hunter detonated inward, folding like a collapsing star. The second lunged for me. I rolled aside, firing. The bullet pinged uselessly off its armor. It turned, red optics flaring. No more running, I thought. If I died here, at least I wouldn't die alone. I grabbed a metal pipe from the wreckage, swung with everything I had. Stupid, desperate, human. The pipe hit its face and bounced off. But it noticed. It pivoted, angular limbs whirring, turning attention toward me. And that was enough. The Empress speared it from behind, all four arms driving through alloy and circuitry. It collapsed in a heap of molten tech. 2 down, 4 advancing. I could feel the heat of plasma igniting, the bunker's temperature spiking as they powered weapons. The Empress staggered, her wound flaring, knees almost buckling. She wasn't invincible. For the first time, fear cracked her voice. I cannot hold. One hunter fired. A lance of white-hot plasma streaked across the station. She didn't have time to dodge. I moved on instinct. I threw myself into her. The blast caught my shoulder, searing white pain carving through flesh. I crashed into her, knocking us both behind a support pillar as concrete disintegrated. I screamed, not from agony, but from surprise. My voice echoed like a stranger's. She looked at me, stunned, 4 arms wrapping around me like armor. "You endangered yourself," she whispered, voice trembling. "Welcome to Earth," I growled. Something shifted in her gaze, something that wasn't imperial duty, something human. Another blast hit the pillar, showering us with debris. We were pinned, too many, too close. She pressed a hand to my injured shoulder. Light crawled from her palm, intertwining with my veins. Pain dulled, nerves calmed. My blood felt heavier, hotter. "What are you?" "Your genome responds," she breathed. "It resonates with mine. I can amplify you." Meaning what? Meaning hit before explanation. I felt it, strength flooding my limbs, reflexes sharpening. The world slowed around me, like time itself bowed. I stood. The Empress rose at my side. Together, we charged. I didn't think, I acted, vaulting over debris, swinging the metal pipe like it weighed nothing, cracking through alloy that should have been unbreakable. When I struck, the energy she'd given me sparked, threads of gold lightning snapping through the hunter's core. 3 down. She eviscerated the 4th with a vortex of light. 4 down. The 5th tackled me, claws digging into my ribs, and I shoved back, raw instinct and borrowed power sending it airborne. It crashed into the tracks. 5. Only 1 remained. It didn't attack. It spoke. A voice like corrupted radio static. The royal line must end. It raised a weapon, a cannon integrated into its spine, aimed directly at her. She stood tall, unflinching, ready to die on her feet. Not this time. I hurled my broken pipe like a spear. The energy coursing through me surged, guiding it true. It punched through the hunter's core, impaling it to the wall. Electricity convulsed through its body. It spasmed, then went still. Silence. The station reeked of smoke, plasma, and blood, mine and hers. I collapsed to my knees, breath ragged. She approached slowly, 4 hands hovering before deciding which one to touch me with. Her lower left, the most human gesture she had. "You are more than human," she whispered. I shook my head. "I'm just the last one left." "No," she said. "You are the first." My pulse hammered. First what? The Empress leaned close, so close her forehead nearly touched mine. "First heir bearer," she murmured. "First of a new hybrid lineage. You were not merely born, you were built. Human, yes, but scion of the architects, my equal, my counterpart." My blood felt like fire. "My heritage," I breathed, "is alien?" "No," she said. "Your heritage is royal." The world tilted. I wasn't just a survivor. I was a key, a weapon, a beginning. Before I could speak, she entwined her fingers with mine, gentle, reverent. "They will come again, all of them, to claim you, to kill you, to end me." "What do we do?" Her 4 arms wrapped around me, lifting me to my feet. "We flee," she said. "We fight, we build. Whatever comes, we face it united." Her voice softened to a vow. "I will not lose you." And against the ruins of Earth, under the broken bones of a world that once reached for the stars, I made a vow of my own. "I'm with you, to the end." Her golden eyes burned. "Not the end," she corrected. "The beginning." Leaving Earth didn't feel like an escape. It felt like a funeral. The Empress and I stood on the roof of what used to be a hospital, now a garden of vines and shattered windows, as her rescue craft descended. A golden vessel shaped like a spear of light, humming with power far beyond anything we ever built. Wind whipped through the air as it landed, scattering petals and ash in equal measure. I looked back at the ruins, skyscrapers slumped like broken teeth, forests blooming in their bones, the last grave of my species. My voice was steady when I spoke. "Goodbye." She didn't rush me. She didn't try to pull me away. She stood beside me, 4 hands clasped at her front, like she was at a sacred rite. "When we return," she said, "it will be as sovereigns, not ghosts." I nodded. I wasn't sure I believed her, but I wanted to. We left Earth behind, the engines roaring, the atmosphere shuddering, the planet shrinking into a blue-green marble swallowed by the endless dark. As the stars unfolded around us, I felt it again, that resonance between us, like my blood was singing. Days passed, then weeks. Her ship was a cathedral of starlight, corridors that shifted like constellations, windows opening to nebulas that burned with impossible colors. I learned her language, not through lessons, but through connection. Our bond made words not necessary. Sometimes she walked the halls like a storm in silk and armor, commanding systems with a gesture. Other times she sat beside me in silence, just close enough to share warmth. 2 survivors building something out of the ashes of lost empires. We reached her domain, or what was left of it. Space stations cracked like eggshells, fleets of derelict ships drifting, planets dark and abandoned, their gates dead. Her people, what few remained, stared when they saw me, a human, extinct, and yet standing at their Empress's side like a promise. They bowed, not to her, to us. I wasn't a weapon anymore. I was a future. 10 years later, the palace is alive, veins of starlight running through crystalline walls, gardens suspended in zero gravity, children's laughter echoing like music. The stellar gates are returning, one by one, their ancient rings stabilizing as hybrid energy flows through the system. Our energy. our bloodline. I sit on a balcony overlooking the gate yards, hundreds of ships in formation, ready to rebuild the empire not as conquerors, but as shepherds of the stars. A small hand slips into mine, warm, human, not human. Our daughter. Golden veins beneath skin pale like mine, 4 arms like her mother, eyes like supernovas, bright enough to burn destiny into existence. She climbs into my lap, points at the stars. "Father," she says, her voice a melody shaped by 2 worlds. "Do you miss where you came from?" I think of Earth, the silence, the graveyards, the loneliness that nearly devoured me. I did, I tell her, before I had somewhere to go. Behind us, the Empress approaches, taller than ever, presence softer now. Her hands rest on my shoulders, all 4 anchoring me in a way I never thought possible. "You saved me," she whispers. I shake my head. We saved each other. In the distance, the gates ignite, rings of cosmic fire spanning light years, forming pathways to realms untouched. Our daughter leans forward, eyes wide. "What's out there?" I smile, a real smile, the kind I never thought I'd wear again. "Everything," I say, and it's waiting for us. We rise together, 3 silhouettes against the blaze of reborn stars, a family birthed from extinction and empire, from ruin and hope. And somewhere in all that light, the ghosts of Earth finally rest. Not because the past is gone, but because the future is ours. If humanity's destiny was to die on Earth, then our destiny was to rise beyond it, to love at the end of the world, to build at the beginning of another, and to prove in the infinite quiet of the cosmos that we were never truly alone.